discussion board number 2. Okay, the amount of information about COVID-19 is staggering, making it more important than ever to go to credible sources for guidance and recommendations. What resource would you trust to find out information about the epidemic and the virus and related conditions? Where would you go to get the information? What information would it give? This is a huge one because there's so much information out there. Everybody has their opinion on the virus and what should happen or what shouldn't happen. And you go to some of these news agencies and they only show the bad parts of the virus, or the whole virus is bad, obviously, right? You don't want to get it, and it hurts people. But how much of that is true that they tell you? Yes, there's a lot of deaths from COVID-19 per day, and it's actually still rising here in Dallas. More cases are being confirmed and deaths. That's what the news has been saying. But I have a lot of nurse friends, and one of them works on the COVID unit at a hospital, Methodist down here in Dallas. And he said that a lot of these deaths are from related events or other problems people have, like pre-Lyme conditions, or obesity, or they're out of shape, out of health, and they're bad health already. He also said that we're also testing a lot more people, so you're getting more confirmed cases because we're testing a ton of more people, which is, that's why the numbers are rising, not because there's more cases people getting infected, just because we're testing 1,000 more this week than we did last week. And which obviously makes sense, we talk about it. So I'm lucky to have him because I get a lot of information of a person who's hands-on, a primary source he deals with every day, because he's on the COVID unit, and it's pretty scary for him. He's pretty, I wouldn't say depressed, but he's bummed out because it's tough. It's tough, and he has to deal with it every day, and any death is hard, when it comes to, just dealing with people who die, and it's not a good thing to do. The resource I would trust the most is probably the CDC, the Center for Disease Control. Why? Because, it says in their name, they're our nation's top center for disease control. Like, that's what they do. They're government regulated, and stuff like that. And they work with viruses hands-on, diseases hands-on, and that's their job, is to help control the spread and stuff like that. And they have doctors that look into it and try and test for cures and all that stuff. And so they have those equipment, those tools, and that information firsthand. They learned it, or they learned it from them doing the work, or them figuring out and doing the procedures. And then your news stations like CBS and all those people, they're hearing it secondhand. They're hearing it from the CDC workers. They're hearing it from other people, and so their information could be misguided because everybody knows when you tell a secret to somebody, when that person goes to tell another person, that person goes to tell another person, it can change vastly and dramatically. Not that COVID's a secret, everybody knows about it, but you get the point. Information changes as it spreads. The CDC is probably my top resource, that and the government. Obviously the general surgeon, he knows what he's talking about. He's a surgeon, and he's obviously the head surgeon of the country because he's the general surgeon. Another one would be WHO, the World Health Organization. They know a lot about it too because they work firsthand with the virus and diseases over the whole world. They're, everywhere. China, they're Italy, they're everywhere. They work firsthand with the CDC, so they know, hey, the CDC is doing this, we're doing with them. Their tests match our tests. So if I was being a normal civilian, first thing I look at is obviously the general surgeon. What's the president and general surgeon saying about the disease? After that, what are my government officials in my state? The governor of Texas, stuff like that. After that, CDC information. You can go on their website and find all kinds of stuff out about it. WHO, you should probably get on their website and find stuff about it. I don't know. I've never been on WHO, but WHO's website, and they might not have one. I don't know, but I don't know. But look at primary sources of information. Don't try to follow secondary sources of information. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that, out of the question. I don't care what your follower says about it, unless they work for the CDC or they're general surgeon. Don't believe them. So that's my deal on. Get credible sources: CDC, WHO, general surgeon, government officials. Yep. Thank you.